Again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain.
When the hurly-burly's done, and when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the play?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Paddock calls anon. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land.
Thus
do go about.
Thrice to thine, thrice to mine,
and thrice again to make up 9.
Peace, the charms round up.
Ballad fair and fair. Sing. How far is it called the forest?
What are they so withered and so wild in their entire? They look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you, or ought you that man may question? You seem to understand me, for each at once her choppy fingers laying upon her skinny lips.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis!
all hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with great prediction and present grace, that he seems wrapped with awe. To me you speak not. You can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not. Speak then to me! You neither beg nor fears your favors nor your hates.
Hail!
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 Let's do the Macbeth and greater!
Not so happy, but much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo!
Banquo and Macbeth! All hail!
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
Oh, the earth hath bubbles as the water, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Are such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane earth that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
In the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads about thy personal adventures and rebel frights, his wonders and his praises do content. It should be thine or his. Silence with that. In viewing over the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Marian ranks. Nothing appeared of what thyself didst make. Strange images of death came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises, and the kingdom's great
We are sent to give thee from our royal master's thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not to pay thee.
And for an earnest of his greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the thing that lives yet, but under heavy judgment, bears that life at which he deserves to lose.
Grandest and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pain. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, but those that give the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown. Besides the Thane of Cawdor, 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truce, win us with honest trifles, betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. The supernatural solicitor cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why has it given me earnest of success commencing in truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion? Toward image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs, against the use of nature. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is, and what is not.
Look how our partners rest.
If chance will have me king, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him. Like our strange garments, cleave none to the mold, will the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered, for every day I turn the lady to wisdom. Let us toward the king, think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts, each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are yet not come back, but I spoke with one that saw him die. For one that report, very frankly, he can confess his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died, as one that's been studying his death, to throw away his dearest thing he owed, as were for a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction of the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude is heavy on me even now. There are so far before the swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Which thou hast that left deserved of both the portions of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say that is more as I do than all they can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, whom do what they should in doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have labored to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo must be known. No less to have done so. Come, let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart. It's all right, Banquo.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and youth whose places are the nearest, let us know that we will establish our state upon our eldest, Malcolm, who hereafter is named the Prince of Cumberland, which title must not be accompanied with signs of nobleness, like stars shall shine, and all deservers. From hence to Inverness, let it bind us to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger. Make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down or else overleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned, by the perfectest report, they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came misses from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time when, Hail King that shalt be, this have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing, by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it on thy heart, and farewell. Claims thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, are not without ambition, but without the illness should attend to it. What thou wouldst highly, thou wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'st have, great Calamus, that which cries, thus thou must do, if thou have it. Rather thou dost fear to do, and wish it should be undone. Hie thee hither, let me pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What are your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, word so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than could make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, and stop up the axis and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dun of smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark, to cry, Hold! Hold! Great Calamus, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for. And you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which to all our days and nights to come shall give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We shall speak further.
Only look up clear, to alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself upon our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his love mansionry that the heaven's breath seems wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle, where they most breed and haunt. I have observed the air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we thank is love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God ild us for your pains, and thank us for your troubles.
All our service, in every point twice done, and then done double, were poor and single business to contend, against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old, and the dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels, and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spurs, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs, themselves, and what is theirs, income, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand, conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him, by your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instruction, which being taught returns to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He is here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as I am his host, who should against his murder shut the door and not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtue will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless carriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spurs to prick the side of my intent, only vaulting ambition which o'erleaps itself and falls upon the other. How now? What news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Have you asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late. I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which be worn now in their newest lots, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself, hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale of what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love, art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail?
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto rather shall his hard day's journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains, will I, with wine and wassail, so convince, that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, the receipt of reason a limbic only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie, as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but mail. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two in his own chamber with their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our grief and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mark the time with fair show. That false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take it. 'Tis later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee, that too. Heavy summons lies like lead upon me. And yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's here?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to his offices. This diamond he grieved your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Unprepared, our will became the servant to defect. Which else should we have wrought?
All's well. I dreamt last night of 3 bird sisters, to you if they've showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, if we can entreat an hour to serve, we could spend some words upon that subject, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent, when 'tis it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but keep my bosom franchise and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good. Repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go bid thy mistress when my drink is ready. She strike upon the bell and send thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feelings as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade in dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts. And take the present whore from the time, which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. That hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman who gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt, not the deed, confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not have missed them. Had he not resembled my father while he slept, I did on it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
I,
Who is in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
Oh, this is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
One did laugh in his sleep, and one cried out murder, that they did wake each other. But I stood and listened, and they said their prayers and addressed them to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One said, God bless us, and amen the other. As they had seen me with these hangman hands, listing their fears, I could not say amen when they said, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not say amen? I had much need of a blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
It must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveling sleeve of care, the death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath, balm of the mind, nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the houses. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cardo shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, do you unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things? Go, get some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why have you brought these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to know what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If you do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that noise? Why is it with me that every sound appalls me? What hands are these? Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Will Neptune's oceans wash out these blood from my hands? No, this hand would rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear hearts so white. Hark, I hear knocking. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deep. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion calls us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best to not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldst.
knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hung himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, the napkins will know about you, and here you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name, Faith. Here's an equivocator that could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith. Here's an English tailor come hither. You're stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never a quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for help. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way of the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we're carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovoked. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in his sleep and giving him the lie leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throw on me. But I acquitted him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him, though he took up my leg sometime, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I had almost slipped the hour.
I will bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physic's pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue no heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say? The life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight. With the new Gorgon, do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake, awake, ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason, Banquo and Donalbain, Malcolm, awake. Shake off this downing sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image. Malcolm, Banquo, as from your graves rise up, and walk like sprites to countenance this horror. Ring the bell.
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
O gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I who speak. The repetition, in a woman's ear, would murder as it fell. O Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Whoa, alas! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear dove, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lease is left the vault to brag of.
What is in this?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, but who?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make loves known?
Help me hence. How?
Look to the lady.
Why do we hold our tongues, that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here? Where our fate, hidden in auger hole, may rush and seize us, let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer in exposure, let us meet, and question this most bloody piece of work, to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contented. What will you do? Let's not consult with them. To show our unfelt sorrow in an office, which the false man does easy. I to England.
To Ireland our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lightened, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let's not be dainty of leave taken, but shaft away. There's war in this theft, which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
Thou hast it now, King Cawdor glamis all, as the weird women promised, and I fear thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope, but hush no more.
Ah, here is our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which has been both grave and prosperous, into this day's councils. But we will take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time. Twixt this and supper, go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night, for a dark hour to my...
Fail not our feast.
I will not, my lord.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and Ireland, confessing not their parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But more of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. But hie you to horse. Adieu, till we see you tonight. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord, our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, so I commend you to their backs. Farewell. Sirrah, a word please. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus, our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares. Into that dauntless temper of his mind he hath the wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he, whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe. Thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filled my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel, given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings. The seed of Banquo, kings! Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please, your highness.
Well then, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you. In our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were borne in hand, how crossed the instruments who wrought with them, and all things else that might to half a soul and to a notion craze say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience is so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance, to mend it or be rid on it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power Sweep him from my sight, and bid my will avouch it. Yet I must not, for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down, and thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Through our lives,
Your spirit shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves. Fleance, his son that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of the dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
we are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Has Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had, all spent, on our desires got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy, than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died, with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We've scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frames of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, nothing can touch him further.
Gentle, my lord. Sleek over your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial amongst your guests tonight.
Oh, so shall I be, my love, and so shall I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence with both eye and tongue. Unsafe the while we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know'st that Banquo and Fleance live.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet, they are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summon the shod-born beetle with his drowsy hums, hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Oh, be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hands, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which makes me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes way to rooky wood. Good things of day do droop and drowse, whilst night's agents to the praise do rouse. Now marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Bad things begun make good by ill, so prithee, come with me.
Hark, I hear horses.
Give us a light there. Ho.
Then it is he.
His horses go about. Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Ah, fly, good hounds! Fly! 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 Oh, thou mayest revenge! Oh, slave!
There's but one down. The sun is flood.
We have lost the best half of our affair.
Well, let's away and say how much is done.
You all know your own degree. At first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
See they encounter thee with their hearts' thanks. Be large in mirth. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the non-pariah.
Most royal sir, Fleance has escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as marble, bounded as rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe?
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes in his head. The least a death of nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again. Now good digestion, wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed. Were the graced person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lay blame upon his promise. Please sit, your highness, to grace us with your royal presence.
Which of you have done this?
What
my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, his highness is not well.
Stay, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him, and extend his passion. Regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one, that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the painting of fear. This is the air-drawn dagger, which, you said, led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look upon a stool.
Prithee, see there, behold, look, lo! How say you? Why, what care I, if thou canst not, speak too. If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be the maws of kites.
What quite unmanned in folly.
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie, for shame, my worthy lord. Your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all in him we thirst, and to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt, and quit my sight. Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless. Thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare? I dare. Hence horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence. Why so, being gone, I am a man again. Pray you, stay.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, with most admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome as like a summer's cloud with our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by magpies and chows and rooks brought forth the secrets man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know, by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far. Should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go over. Strange things I have in head, that will to hand, which must be acted, ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures, sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harpier cries, "'Tis time, 'tis time."
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone, days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boiled boughs burst in the charm pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulp, of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock, dig it in the dark. Make the gruel thick and slab, add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open! Locks! Whoever knocks!
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it. Answer me.
Speak!
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour it in the sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 farrow, grease that sweeten. From the murderer's gibbet brow into the flame.
Come, high or low, thyself and office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me, enough.
Whatever thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harked my fear aright. But one more word.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold and resolute, left to scorn the power of men, for none of women born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance doubly sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion mettled, proud and take no care, who chafes, who frets, are where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix the earthbound root? Sweet bodements, good, rebellious deed, rise never, till the wood of Birnam rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if you art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show!
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 Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Where are they? Gone? Let the pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is overtook, unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand, and even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all the unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness, when our actions do not. Our fears do make us traitors.
You knew not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles, in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, and judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet we know not what we fear. But float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Father he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I'm so much a fool, should I stay any longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What? With worms and flies?
With what I get, and so do they.
Poor bird, thou'dst never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. Now wilt thou do with for a father?
Nay, how will you do this for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy 'em to sell 'em again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet, in faith, with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, but there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now, God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you now, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly, if you will take some homely man's advice. Be not found here, hence with you, heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsatisfied, where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shaggard villain.
What, you egg? Young fry of treachery?
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you.
Murder! Murder! Murder!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weeps our sad bosoms indeed.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, like good men bestrided on fallen birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as it felt with Scotland like Silvo Dolor. See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, times remove the means that make us strangers.
Say amen.
stands Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself, it cannot be called our mother but our grave, where nothing but whose knows nothing seems to smile, where sighs and groans and shriek that rend the air are made not marked, where modern sorrows seem a modern ecstasy. The dead man's now scarce to ask for who. Good men's lives expire before the flowers in their cap die ere they thicken.
O relation, too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That's of an hour's age. Doth hiss the speaker, each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not bettered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a miser speech, how goes it?
When I came here to bear the tidings of which I have heavily bore, there ran out a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which my least to witness the rather. It is time to help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to dock their dire distress.
Be it their comfort, we're come thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men. An older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer, but I have news that would howl out the desert air.
What concern they? The general cause, or is the fee grief due to some single breast?
It's no mind that's honest, but the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not for me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let your ears not despise my tongue forever, for they may bear the heaviest sound that you've yet heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babe savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner, they wish to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven! What, man? Never pull your hat upon your brows? Give silent words. The grief that does not speak whispers to overfed heart, and bids a breeze.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make medicine to our greatest revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, hellkite, all? All my pretty chickens in their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I also must feel as the man. I cannot remember what such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on, and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they're struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine. Heaven rest them now.
Feed this the whetstone in your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt, not the heart. Enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend to Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Go, or come, we go to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack of nothing. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macduff is right for shakening. The heavens above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer ye may. But the night is long that nor finds the day.
I have 2 nights spent with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
When His Majesty went into the field, I saw her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, open it, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching in the slumbery agitation. Besides her walking, other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You made to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither you nor anyone, for having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by the light?
Why it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue this for a quarter of an hour.
Yet, here's a spot.
Hark! She speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot, out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and afeard? What need we fear? Who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Oh, will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Yet, here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia would not sweeten this little hand. Oh, oh, oh.
What the sigh is there? This heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom, for the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond my practice, yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo is dead. He cannot come out of one's grave.
Even so?
To bed, to bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, come, come. Take my hand. To bed, to bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows, which discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly, all, till Burnham would remove to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of women? The spirits that know all mortal consequences hath pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with thy English epicures. The mind I sway by, and the heart I bear, shall never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. The devil damns thee, black, thou cream-faced loon. Where got'st thou that goose look?
There's 10,000.
Geese, villain?
Soldiers, sir.
Prick thy face and overred thy beard, thy lily-livered boy. What soldier patch? What soldier's way-face?
The English horse, so please you.
Take your face hence. Satan, I am sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say, this push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age, as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, and dare not. Satan!
What's your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Skirt the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor. How goes the patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies. Keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from thy memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the ridden troubles of her brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of the perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physics to the dogs, all none of it. Come, put mine armor on, give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, senna, or purgative drug would scour the English hence? Hear thou of them?
Aye, good lord. Your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death or bane, till Burnham force come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand, that Chambers will be safe. What is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough, and bear it before him. There be shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery ere and report of us.
It shall be done.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here, let them lie till famine and ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir, as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors. Wherefore was the cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue? Thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did see my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, there would began a move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it not be so. Within this 3 mile ye may see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes towards Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell, blow wind, come rack, at least we'll die with harness on our back. They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear or none.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou be slain with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns, whose arms are hard to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword, with an unbattered edge, I sheathe again undeeded. There thou shouldst be, by this great clatter, when a greatest note seems brooded. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back, my soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor, as easy mayst thou the entrenchment air, with thy keen sword and press as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one born of woman.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the world of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rare monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrants.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham Wood be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold enough.
I would the friends we missed were safe derived.
Hail, King, for so thou art, behold, where stands the usurper's cursed crown, the time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speaks my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland!
We should not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kingsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be plaintively with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, at last thought, by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, will perform in measures, time and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.